Hadiyang, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. When I call on the light within, when I call on the light within, when I call on the light, when I call on the light, when I call on the light within. Hadiyang, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. When I call on the light within, when I call on the light within, when I call on the light, when I call on the light, when I call on the light within. Hadiyang, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. When I call on the light within, when I call on the light within, when I call on the light, when I call on the light, when I call on the light within. Hadiyang, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Hadiyang, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. When I call on the light within, when I call on the light within, when I call on the light, when I call on the light, when I call on the light within. That's the Zoom version of yay. If you couldn't hear us, can you hear us? Hey, welcome. Let's see. I think you guys are all right in there, right? Yeah, right there.
Oh, I see you.
You see them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Whoa, we got a crowd this
David
morning.
Grisman. No. David Fishman here. Close, you know. Welcome to Facebook Live. We are live here in Fort Bragg, California. Look at this beautiful Garden of Eden that they're creating over here. It's so beautiful here, David. It's so nice. Last time we were here, we were over at the beach.
We were at the beach, and the beach is just like a mile and a half yonder.
If you listen, you can hear it.
No, you can hear a chainsaw.
Well, that too. Yeah. Fire hazard cutting back, right?
Yeah.
Your
Permitted.
Permitted fire hazard cutting back. But last time we did this, we had face shields on, and we were very protective. And we sat 6 feet apart too.
Well, 5.5.
Yeah, and we had microphones.
Yeah.
We don't have microphones today,
No.
so we got to talk into the screen over here.
We are flying without a net this morning.
Wow. You want to fly with us? Okay, here we go. We got some great questions for the master today, El Maestro. And David, I'm just so happy that you will be on the show. I so respect where you come from with your background in spirituality and applying it to worldly ways. Because if you can get David telling you his horror story, his crazy stories, they're really, really good. But so in light of all that, question number one is, how do you let God live through you? God being whatever you want to call God. I can only just sum it up as God because it works, right? How do you let God live through you, David?
Well, that question reminds me of things I've written and read and practiced about the flow state. there's a certain quality of letting go of your ambitions or your desires, needs, and wants, and just allowing energy to flow through you. This runners experience this, musicians experience this. Anything that kind of turns your mind off so you're not figuring things out,
Right.
you are receiving. It's like you put up an antenna, and then what comes out of you is just what comes in, unadulterated, unprocessed, and that's as close as I can come to
I love
figuring
it.
that out.
Does that
yeah.
antenna come out of your forehead?
It comes out of your imaginary forehead.
Studying yoga, the yoga asanas are each known to be an antenna
Exactly.
to pick up different frequencies of this energy that we're calling God today. You can call it something else, but you can tap into different aspects of it, like tuning a radio dial.
That's so interesting. And so much of the yoga, as it came to the West and merged with the Western hip culture, lost that sense of the transformational aspect of each yoga pose. So now we're almost like caricatures, taking the posture, but we've lost the understanding about what it is about that particular pose or posture that affects the energy that flows through us.
Right.
You're
right.
going to have different thoughts in Tadasana, standing at attention, as you are in, say, the most important pose, which is Shavasana.
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 And well, there's a doctor actually that lives right down the road from you. His name is Hari Singh Khalsa, and he actually will prescribe poses and mantras for various symptoms, various illnesses that are occurring, both mentally and physically. And he's taken that Kundalini yoga and taken it all the way down to where he can prescribe certain things for certain ailments.
I didn't know that, but I believe that. And years ago, when I was on the yoga conference workshop circuit, they had a practice out of, I think he was out of Arizona. I don't recall his name, but it was called Phoenix Rising.
Oh.
And he was a therapist, and he would put his clients or patients into postures, and they would explore their psychological terrain through this practice of Phoenix Yoga Therapy or
Nice.
Phoenix Rising
Nice.
Therapy.
Nice. Yeah. Do you remember the old Johnny Carson show when he would put on the
I was
hat?
just thinking of that. When Dan was going to
Let's not just roll through.
asking questions, I go, let me put on my turban and let's start with the answers, and then I'll come up with the questions.
Oh, that's so good. Do you think that thoughts kind of blow like the wind, like see the wind blowing through those
Yeah.
meditation flags? Like we both picked up the same thought at the same time? And
We did.
Whose thought was it really?
I thought of it first.
Your thought, baby. You can have that thought.
All right, what's the next answer?
The next answer is I am that I am is.
Is this Dr. Zeus riddle or something?
That's the answer. You got to finish the answer.
I am that I am is.
I am that I am is.
That's pretty similar to the last question,
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's
isn't
go.
it?
Yeah.
But let me answer it again.
Well, no, we can come at it from a different angle by going to the next question.
Oh,
and then we're
let's
going
go
to
to
hit
the
it from
next one, yeah.
behind, right? It won't be expecting this.
This will be a pincer movement.
Yeah. What
On-
is
On the next question.
pincer?
On the next answer.
This is it. What is I am that I am's purpose and mission?
You know, there's something in all spiritual traditions called a greater self, a higher power, an inner self. an untainted, in Tibetan Buddhism, they call it a diamond-like nature that that kindles our ability to shed all of these. You know, somebody, I can't remember who said, any problem in life is just a mental construct. We create our own problems by formulating them
Right.
as problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
That's great. What's another way of looking at it?
yes.
Yeah.
Another way of looking at it is getting in touch with that diamond self or your true self. And again, it's about letting go and letting flow.
So where is that true self not? Where can we go where we can't find that true self?
Well, when we're in the midst of anguish, in the midst of this horrendous process that we go through when we're having a negative reaction or coming across a mental obstacle, we lose connection with that true self. Mm-hmm. We become lost in a different kind of flow. We become, so to speak, trapped in it. Mm-hmm. And
That's that construct, right? That we call a problem.
is just a mental construct.
So maybe another way of perceiving that is, if we're really looking at it, that I am is everywhere all the time, then it's in you, it's in me, it's in the bushes, it's in the trees, it's in the constructs, and maybe it's doing the dance through us all the time. That was that Johnny Carson thought that we just got coming through.
And the thing that impresses me so much about Dan is I came across somebody described a practitioner as being an animist. And that's kind of what Dan is. Dan sees the same. Buddhism left out plants and vegetables and trees and focused on sentient beings.
Right.
The Tibetan word for a person is a drowa. A drowa is somebody to go. Drowa is to go. Is a person that's on the move. So unlike Jainism, for instance, where you see these Jain monks with little brooms sweeping the path gently wherever they walk.
Right, so they don't step
and honoring plants as well as.
Do they?
Yeah.
The Jains honor plants.
Jains honor plants.
Give them dignity and respect.
And you honor plants.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think plants are like, they really need our dignity and respect.
The Buddha left them out.
I know.
Yeah.
But the Native Americans kept them, and they put a little tobacco down before they take them. Yep. They ask the plant, can I take you? They even say, I'm on the same level as you.
Yeah.
This came from Carlos Castaneda, actually, Don Juan, the teachings of Don Juan. He says that, and then he says, as he takes the plant, he says, and someday I will be food for you. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Cycles of nature. Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, too.
Not as much as I appreciate you.
Oh, really? Should we have a contest about this?
Yeah, I appreciate when you
Well,
appreciate
you got the first thought. You got the joke, so...
Oh,
right?
So you get the appreciation
I get that one,
first.
and you're next for the next one. Okay, we'll settle it that way.
All right,
Okay.
2 out of 3.
Yeah. What is the difference between receiving the answer to a question and figuring it out?
Well, again, we've got the same question. How do you get in touch with that inner self? How do you get in touch with your higher power or whatever your divine source is? You let go. And the expression is, let go and let God.
Yes.
That's as close as possible to the answer to that question. Unless, of course, you don't believe in God, but you do believe in something.
Mm-hmm. It's good enough for us.
And if you don't, then you come to the other expression, get a God in your life. It's like a it's a culture, it's a human imperative is at some point to find something you can hitch yourself to that's going to be beneficial to you and to the world that you live in.
It's really interesting. I do a lot of work with addiction recovery. And in the addiction recovery, there's this God as you understand him aspect that really is important to be brought in there. And people struggle with that one more than anything else, more than the substances that they're abusing or anything. It's who is this being? They come in as an atheist or agnostic, these labels and old religions, and had been indoctrinated, and they ran away from them so far they don't know how to find it again, or what would be it without re-sparking and re-triggering all the old pains that were associated with that. And one story is really good about a man who's just abused and abused until he's in the hospital, almost on his deathbed. And he's like, well, I can't really see a God, but if I get to create this God as I understand him, I'll make you the God. And he made these three people the God as you understand him, and he just let them be there as that.
That's so cool.
And the men went along with it. And, you know, let's not get all attached to the figures we put on it and allow faith to really do its magic as we, and then eventually, you know, he came around to more connect with an invisible force or power.
But
there.
at first, you have to engage in that process of turning it over. We're not going to figure our
that's
way.
it. It's turning
We're
it
not
over,
going to
right?
figure our way out of situation that we're in with the same defective thought process that got us into that situation.
Right.
So we have to let go of that and put our trust in a mushroom or a carrot or another person or
A blueberry.
a blueberry.
Blueberries are great gods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that, though, that it is about turning it over, getting out of and there it is, the difference between figuring it out, and figuring it out is trying to solve the problem with the same mind that created the problem. And then I was reading Deepak Chopra was talking about allowing the day to answer your question throughout the day.
Yeah.
And that's really
beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah.
Because that's what the day is there for.
And if indeed this higher power is in everything, is in you and me and everybody that comes into our world, into our universe, they all are delivering an aspect of that answer to that question that we're asking.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That was Deepak. He's good.
He's good.
Yeah, he does the work.
Yeah.
So we don't have, no.
So we can just let go and let God. Let go and let
go,
Deepak.
let God. That's right. That's right. You
All right.
answered all the questions.
No way.
You did. You ripped right through them.
You helped.
It's my job.
All right. Should we serenade them out?
We'll serenade you out with the same song we serenaded them in on.
Sure.
Okay.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Hari Young, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Hari Young, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. When I call on the light within. When I call on the light within. When I call on the light. When I call on the light. When I call on the light within. Hari Young, dear Lord, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. When I call on the light within. When I call on the light within. When I call on the light, when I call on the light, when I call on the light within. Really nice. Thank you, everybody. Hari Young, Satnam,
Ariam, Tatsat,
Aho, Amen.
Aho, Amen.
Oh, We're still on.